KernHighNetwork.com's live streaming coverage of the Kern High School District's athletics department. And dig this tonight. We are in a very raucous gymnasium, Stockdale High School in Bakersfield, California, where the Mustangs of black and silver welcome in the Cougars of blue and gold from Clovis High School. Good evening once again, everybody. I'm Vance Palm, joined as always by Tom Myers inside the cozy confines of another Kern High School District gymnasium. Kyle Wiley to my immediate left handling our camera, and our director, producer extraordinaire, Kyle Wiley and Kevin Willie. Kyle Wiley, KW1, KW2. I should have just gone with the old initial game anyway. Tom, let's get right to it. I'm excited about tonight's game. You and I both had our pregame discussions with the coaches. When we can get to that in just a moment, let's talk about these two teams in the big picture, their rankings. What does this mean tonight to have Clovis play Stockdale less than a week before the entire Central section starts league play? Yeah, this is kind of where they can get everything kind of settled for their pre-league before they go into their actual league. Clovis in the track up north, as well as, Stockdale down here in the SWYL. Stockdale comes into tonight's game 13 wins and 4 losses, and surprisingly they lost 2 of the last 3 contests that they've been in, but won 7 prior to that, or 9 prior to that. And then the Cougars up north lost 2 of their last 3, but won 7 of their previous games. And in those 7 previous games, they only lost 2 sets in those matches out of all 7 games. Spoke with the head coach for the Clovis Cougars, Richard Lake. By the way, his staff is Savannah Dyer, Paula Uber, and Alan Moa. Great discussion with him, and we've got a lot of storylines to get to tonight, but he felt good, felt confident about where his team is right now. He didn't have one of those programmed pitches of, well, it's been a tough start, but we're getting there, nor did he say, hey, we're on top of the world right now. Very measured, but I could sense in him a calm, cool, collective approach to tonight's game against someone like Maria Kolatz, who is a legend. And she said, oh, gosh, Vance, don't start with that stuff. And I said, well, Maria, we go way back. I went to college with Maria. She was playing volleyball when I was playing basketball at Cal State. You've known her for many, many, many years. And we're going to have somewhat of a tribute tonight to her as the evening unfolds. But it has to be a lot of fun for both squads to be here tonight. And as we always do here at the Kern High School District on KernHighNetwork.com, we always back away a little bit and enjoy the national anthem ourselves and then jump back into the action. Once again, great to have you with us. I'm Vance, he's Tom, Kevin, Kyle for the Kern High School District, KernHighNetwork.com's live streaming coverage of varsity girls volleyball, Clovis Cougars at Stockdale High School. Tom, before they start the national anthem, give me a quick synopsis of what you think Stockdale's going to have to do tonight. Well, I think Stockdale's going to have to pass the ball well. They've got a good mix of a senior libero as well as a freshman DS that Maria has a lot of confidence in. That freshman DS is, pardon me, I'm kind of off on my Tony Perrier. Yeah, Tony Perrier, freshman DS. A lot of confidence in the young lady. And then her libero, senior Jade Johnson. So that's a mix of the old pro and the new rookie coming in that she's putting a lot of confidence in for that back row. We're about to have the national anthem performed, and once that is completed, we are getting into some serious September volleyball. Next Tuesday, everybody starts league play. By the way, they're in the track, and this is the SWYL conference for Stockdale. And here is the national anthem.
Please cooperate, makes it an exemplary in the finest tradition in Wisconsin athletics. With fine athletes, coaches, and spectators, this contest is being conducted with the highest expectation and fair play and good sportsmanship. We'll show remind you the pitchers are hardworking individuals who display fairness and integrity. Please use the respect they deserve. Thank you for your cooperation and support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please raise the flag for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, the national anthem will be performed by Stockdale senior Alea Wilson.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars
What a rousing rendition of the national anthem. And the Black Hole, known by the student section, that's their nickname, their moniker they use when they travel, when they're at home. All those black jerseys, black T-shirts, black cheerleading uniforms. And they're hoping to cause some havoc for the Cougars. Let's meet the starters right now. Go ahead, Tom. Jasmine Hugh, Jordan Woolman.
Number 12,
McKenna Ogas, also one of the starters.
Number 17,
Hannah Leak, the junior Tom was speaking about.
Number 21,
Cassie Christensen, big hitter.
And libero, number 15, Alicia Macedo.
And Alicia Macedo, number 15, the libero.
And now the starting lineup for the host Lady Mustangs of Stockdale High School, coached by Maria.
Tom, who do you have for those Stockdale Mustangs as starters? Go ahead and give it to us so they call them out.
For the Mustangs, number 3, Shivangi Goswami, senior outside hitter. Number 5, Sydney Richardson, senior setter. They'll run a 5-1 under her tonight. Number 6, Cammie Marion, sophomore middle hitter. Number 7, Naomi Jennings. She's a junior middle hitter. And number 10, Kenzie Villavazzo, junior defensive specialist. And number 14, big hitter, the leader on this team, senior Macy Haddon. And their libero is senior DS libero Jade Johnson.
So here we are, Thursday night volleyball, last Thursday night before league starts on Tuesday for all of these teams. There's Maria Kolatz. Good look at legendary one and only, the only coach that this program has ever known. Maria's 31 years of coaching, 30 out of the 31 have been in high school, and 27 of that 30 right here at her own program. It's her baby, and now it's all grown up.
You know, Vance, I had a nice conversation with her before the game, and she said it the way that a lot of us parents feel. She cares about these girls like they're her daughters. And that's the kind of coach, you know, you don't coach for that long without being that kind of coach.
Not at all. And I talked to Coach Lake about her, and he said it's amazing how she'll lose all these players, and you think you've got her number, and next thing you know, come playoff time, here they come again, charging towards championships. So here we go. Great to have everybody here on KernHighNetwork.com. Live streaming coverage of the Kern High School District's student athletes. Tonight, it happens to be volleyball. Girls volleyball varsity. Stockdale Mustangs hosting the Clovis Cougars. I'm Vance Palm, joined as always by Tom Myers, Kevin Willie on camera, Kyle Wiley running the show. And if this is your first time ever, you're thinking, wait a minute. Wiley, Willie, Kyle, Kevin, no wonder Vance messed it up. Yep, K-Dub1, K-Dub2, that's our production crew. Not another rhyme, and I mean it. Right, Peanut? Here we go. I'm excited.
I think we're going to see a really good offensive battle here with a lot of good hitting tonight. You know, obviously Macy Haddad, a fantastic hitter. So we're going to see her showcase tonight in this game. She hits in multiple positions. It's not just a right or a left side hitter. She hit in the middle as well. And they run a 5-1 offense around her, which is evident by the strength that they're going to show here tonight.
We're underway. And nice start. Jordan Woolman, the senior outside hitter, she is pumped with her nice first ace of the evening. 1-0, starting things off with a bang.
And the Black Hole doesn't seem to be wanting to let anything go tonight. They're going to be involved in every play, I think. And Vance, there's the big hitter over there, McKenna Ogas. She's only a junior outside hitter at 5'9". We're going to be calling her name quite a lot tonight as well.
Big shot up front for Ogas. Woolman to serve. Great set by Sydney Richardson. Jennings comes around, finishes it up. Sydney leading the country in assists and assists per set. Sydney Richardson, and now she serves. the senior, the leader. Best of the best. Code
just came into the game and already making an impression right out the gate.
Notched it 2, early goings. Another great serve.
Richardson with the ace. And we're really hoping that we get to see, some really good serving tonight and really controlling the pass.
Richardson with a jump serve, drops it in. Stockdale Mustangs up 3-2. First one out, and here we see some miscommunication by Stockdale. Tied up at 3, first game of the evening. Mustangs hosting Clovis.
Evans with the kill on that play, put it right down inside the block. And the Clovis libero now in the game, number 15, Alicio Macedo. Good block over on the right side by Stockdale.
Ooh, Jennings with the big block, but here comes Ogus again.
Ogus with the powerful, powerful kill.
She goes by McKenna Ogus, M-A-K-E-N-A, McKenna Ogus, O-G-A-S. Goswami with the big hit after a perfect set again by Sid.
And she's going to rotate out and into the game now. Number 13, freshman DS, Tony Perrier. Coach Colatz told me about this kid earlier in our conversation this evening. She's really excited about Perrier, especially being a freshman at this level.
Haddad with the big block up front. A big swing from the back row just went right into the block of Macy Haddad.
Haddad spotting the ball at will. Good vision on that play to see that there was nobody over on the short side over there and dink the ball for the point.
6-4 Mustangs. Well, that was nice. What a great, great set by Jasmine Hugh, the captain, all the way across the net. Set it up for a nice point there. So the junior captain of this talented Clovis team.
Yeah, Ogus with a big kill on a great set.
Look at that serve by Captain Hugh. Too tough to handle. We're tied up at 6 again, Tom.
Johnson just missed that ball. It's as if it dodged at the last second and she had to go to her left to get it. She atones on that play with a great pass for the perfect set and a great kill on the left side.
7-6. Referee wanting to confirm. I think everybody in the gym knew that it was tipped, and the ball actually was tossed back to Naomi to serve. Somewhat of a sheer sign that even the team that lost the point understands it was a tip, but the official, the referee, wants to speak to the lines ladies and get a truer sense of what went on. It gives us a chance to kind of reset. It's 6-6. We're all tied here in the first. Stockdale Mustangs hosting the Clovis Cougars. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Tom Myers, Kevin Willie, and Kyle Wiley. Glad to have everybody here on the KernHighNetwork.com. Boy, when this got put on our schedule, as we see the play confirmed, when this got put on our schedule, this is when we looked at each other and said, hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. And it is.
Yeah, the Black Hole agrees with the referee on that by giving it to Stockdale.
7-6 Mustangs. Jennings with the serve.
You know what? That's a great hit, but that's a fantastic dig by that freshman DS in the back row. That thing was coming fast and hard, and that she got a hand on it is impressive.
Perrier, who we're speaking of. Jennings out. Haddad keeps it in. And the momentum took Cami Marion into the net. So all of a sudden now, Clovis back on top. They were up 1-0, and they haven't seen the lead till now, 8-7.
Macy Haddad, the middle blocker there.
What a dominant force. That ball comes floating over. And the senior leader and a name synonymous with this program for years now, Haddad. That ball comes floating over to her. You're going to be in trouble.
Junior Kenzie Villavazzo to serve now.
She took a little peek over at her teammates and said, that's never happened before. Kenzie struggles first serve out. 9 serving 8. Clovis up 1.
Big block over there on the left side for the Cougars, number 9, Jordan Woolman.
In the first, 10-8 Clovis. Leak with the serve. Point's going to go to Clovis. Interference on top of the net. Haddad goes over to speak with the...
Yeah, that looked like an even joust at the net on that one. I don't necessarily agree with the official on that call. The ball was centered right on top of the net, and both players on both teams had a hand on it.
They're going to do it back over, and I think even Richard Lake will understand. He might voice his discontent with the switch, but he quickly looked over at the ref and said, I got it, I understand. He's a bigger picture kind of guy, isn't he? And service goes out, so it'll be 9 serving 10. Stockdale trails by 1. Haddad behind the line.
Goswami back in the game in the front row. And Haddad back to serve.
Clovis on the attack, but cannot convert. We're tied up at 10. Great job defensively by the Mustangs. Sorry.
Yeah, Vance, she went up to hit a 1 on that one. Just the timing was a little bit off, so she missed it.
Tied at 10. Haddad serving. Just a bit long. Big swing. Mustangs back up 11-10.
Yeah, that's unlike August to be hitting one long like that, but coming out of the back row, she got it a little bit late and didn't get on top of the ball to spin it.
They're going to say a double on that, so teeter-tottering back. Mustangs up 2. Timeout called. Timeout called. We'll stay here. 12-10. Here in the first one here at Stockdale Mustangs. They're hosting Clovis. We talked a little bit about Coach Kolatz before we started, and her and I were waxing nostalgic about our days back at Roadrunner Land, and then just talking about the progression of all of these decades being here. And she was the athletic director last year, and then decided, I cannot give up coaching. It's in me. I can't do it. And so she's back, and to sit and talk to her, Tom, and just watch her eyes kind of just try to digest the last 27 years here. Goodness. She's seen it all, and later on in the evening I want to talk to you about a part of the discussion we had about the current state of volleyball here in the Central Valley. So, hey, we're up 2 here if you're a local watching Stockdale, if you're Clovis watching in. By the way, everybody, a lot of viewers and listeners tonight in the Clovis area, thanks to social networking, getting this over to Clovis High School, and we'll talk about their administration here in a little bit. We're back in, Tom.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Lake about that earlier. He said they sent it out all over the place to make sure that everybody could tune in and watch their Cougars play from up north. So welcome all the fans from the Clovis area, one of my old hometowns. I lived up there for several years. Great city.
Big block up front.
And another block. And a good pass off of that. Cami Merriam with the block, but then Back comes Jordan Woolman for the kill.
Yeah. But, boy, it's nice to see that sophomore, Cammie Marion, up there working at the tape like she is. 11 serving 12. Stockdale up 1. Haddad.
Out of the back row. And, you know, when I talked to Coach earlier about her, that was one of the things that she talked about, is that she hits from everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's front, right, middle, back row. She hits from everywhere. Just a fantastic volleyball player with a great ability to get up in the air and put the ball down.
Jay Johnson serving just a bit outside. So it'll be 12 serving 13. Clovis trailing by 1, but they've got the ball in their hands. And Callie Thiessen comes in, the outside hitter senior. Where's number 10? Coach Lake having a quick word with Woolman.
And Goswami called in the net on that play, but on the block.
I'll tell you what, coaching staff from Stockdale up quick. Thought it may have been on the other side, but what I know is we're tied up at 13. Thiessen.
Powerful swing over there by Ogus once again.
Mustangs almost made it work. Now it's 14-13. Clovis serving with a 1-point lead. Boy, a tricky serve, huh? It looked way long, and then it just dives. Another big swing by Ogus. That one, they say, is out.
Great swing, but she pulled a little too far down the line and got out of bounds by about 1.5 feet.
Wow.
But that was a powerful swing, Vance.
I looked around the crowd just to kind of see their reaction, and they did the same thing I did. Wow. However, 14 apiece. Stockdale gets the point and the serve. And how about that? Jennings says, wow, that one.
And that's what happens when you don't handle a pass properly. You try to get it too close to the net for your setter, and then you end up with the defense on the other side putting it away.
Sydney Richardson. Ogus
with the kill.
Phenomenal rally. Both teams just played top shelf volleyball back and forth, but they went to number 12, and McKenna Ogus, oh gosh.
Haddad once again out of the back row.
She's got that top spin, Tom. It's not just the power, but it's the finesse, and that ball just dives into the wood. So 16-15, Stockdale serves with a 1-point lead, and it's Perrier.
You know, Vance, some of the problems some of the hitters have that it can get jump is that they don't snap their wrists very well. Haddad gets both. Ogus once again, hard cross court on that play.
16-16. I think if you're just getting to your computer or your phone about a minute ago, you might be thinking, wow, they're really good. Well, guess what? We're tied up 16-16. It's a very nice first one here at Stockdale High School. Haddad buries one. Another fantastic set by Richardson.
You know, as tight as this game's been so far, I think we're going to be here for a while.
Fine with me.
This may go 5 sets just by what we're seeing so far.
I can watch 5 sets of this.
It's going to be the Ogus and Haddad show tonight, I think. Ogus off the right side there.
Smart play, really smart play by Riley Knitzer.
Knitzer just came into the game.
First swing of the night, and she sees an open patch over there and says, I'll drop it right over there. And she does. We're tied up at 17.
You know, Vance, there's something to be said for volleyball players that have vision. They can see what's going on the other side of the court and place the ball in the right spot.
17 apiece.
Great pass set up by the freshman. Perrier definitely doing the job here on the court tonight for her team.
Villalvazo's back in. Kenzie will serve. Stockdale up 1, 18-17.
And that's a much better result than the last time she was up, where it didn't even make it to the net. That one touched the tape and got right over and dove right as soon as it crossed the net.
Love to see that overpowering the mind and just saying, nope, this is how it's going to be. That was just one bad serve and then an ace. Here comes another one. Yeah, it's just a bit too early. Jumped just a bit too early on that. So now it's 2017, and Coach Richard Lake will take a quick timeout.
You know, that was a really good pass and a one set for the ball being as high as it was. It's hard to set a one when the ball's coming on such a high, about a 20-foot arc. She put that ball in the right spot. Unfortunately, Augus's timing was just a little bit off.
We're here in the first one, 2017. The black hole letting everybody know they're here. They are here.
Yeah, one of the best rooting sections in town. And they travel well, too.
Kyle Wiley reminded us that in the Peak Awards earlier this spring, don't miss the Peak Awards 2018, but the 2017 version, when they gave out the award for the most spirited student body, the Stockdale Mustang audience, before we could even get the words out of our mouth what the category was, they were going bonkers. And for all of their nominees in all of the different categories, whether it be music or athletics or education or community work, boy, the Stockdale Mustang student section
They managed to handle that one pretty well. And that is a legal play. And good vision by August to try and keep that ball in play. But I don't think she could jump again. She had already gone up about 4 times.
Well, the twin towers of Haddad and Jennings, that is a formidable situation to have to deal with when those two are up there at that net. They're going to say in. Crowd didn't like it. Parents didn't like it. But
and you know what, Vance? That ball looked like it was going to sail, and it dropped at the last minute because she has so much topspin from her snap on her swing. That ball literally just dove right in.
Call is good on McKenna August's dart. All that work by Jasmine Hugh and then unforced error to knock it out. So now Stockdale up 4-1 here in the second. Naomi Jennings serving. You can see Coach Lake has a lot of talent and a lot of volleyball prowess out there. The IQ of their team is very high with what to do and when to do it. But they've also made some mistakes already, and they're down 1-4. Jennings with a power serve.
August, big swing.
And you give her too many tries in one rally, and it's going to be awfully difficult to stop McKenna August. But I'll tell you what, Macy Haddad is really causing her fits. It's not a walk in the park by any means for the big swinger August with Macy Haddad up there.
You know, August is replacing 6'3" Under Armour All-American that went to BYU, Taylon Boward. And so she's managed to fill in this year in that spot as a power hitter. And, you know, they're definitely using her to their advantage. They go to her quite a bit.
Scores 4-2. Stockdale up 2. Second game. And
they're saying it hit the standard and it's out of bounds, so that point's going to go to Stockdale or go to the Cougars.
3 serving 4. Clovis down 1 here in the second. Fantastic start. Hugh with the serve. Richardson sets. Big swing by Code. Blocked it first, but found a spot in the back right. 5-3 Stockdale.
Haven't seen a lot out of Natalie Code so far tonight, but that one right there, she finally had gotten to put one away, got an opportunity, and no one was really there to block.
Well, the depth of the Stockdale program just never stops. Villavazzo again serving long.
And Woolman coming back into the game for the Cougars back in the front row. And they got August in the back serving right now.
Jordan Woolman is a senior, Tom.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where August is on the court. She'll hit out of the back row, too.
Coach Lake wanting his team to back up. Here comes a serve, 4 serving 5. A big set, a big hit, a big kill, and Jordan Woolman in the net. Wouldn't have mattered.
Haddad hit over that block on that one. They were both up. She just hit over the top of it.
6-4 Stockdale. They won the first one, and we're in the second one now. Goswami
showing a little power there.
7-4, 3-point lead for the Mustangs. Stockdale up 1-0. Thank you for joining us here on KernHighNetwork.com. Oh, what a great play by Jordan Woolman. She had to do a pirouette around that net to make sure she didn't hit it.
Yeah, she had to fight to stay out of it. I thought she was going to go into it, and she kind of danced down the line.
Oof. Great play. Now it's 5 serving 7. And it's long, so it's going to be 8-5 now, Stockdale. Well, you're trying to claw back on the road. We saw this last week at Liberty when Clovis North would look like they'd get some traction, and next thing you know, a couple of bad serves, and they're down 7 or 8.
Yeah, those mistakes will lead to a loss real quick. So, especially when you're on the road and you got the black hole in your ear over there, concentration starts to lack a little bit. Goswami with the dink. Good vision on that play. Smart playing on that side over there on the left.
All of a sudden here in game 2, it's 9-5. Mustangs up over Clovis. Jade Johnson serving.
Lake may not want to let this one get away from him too long. He may need to call a timeout here pretty quick because Stockdale has a way at scoring at will.
Haddad with a great dig.
Nice back set there by Jasmine Hugh.
Can't overstate enough, Sydney Richardson, a senior setter, leader on that team. Soft, delicate hands that just puts that ball right where it needs to be for these big swingers. One of the best setters in the entire nation. Haddad muscles it over. Ends up being Carly Vanek.
Hugh finally gets a good set. Both teams having trouble getting the ball in the right spot for their hitters on that series. And she put a nice one right there, and Hewitt put it away.
Carly's the freshman middle blocker. Where's number 3?
5'10" as a freshman.
And into the net is Jasmine Hugh. We're going to see Kristen Milligan come in for the Cougars, and Code comes back in for the Mustangs. Sid Richardson serving. Big block up front. Little struggle there for the Mustangs, and Goswami not able to kind of pick that one up, set real close to the tape. 8 serving 10 now, Clovis with the ball. We're in the second game. Stockdale won the first one, 25-18. My partner Tom Myers reading graphs, reading data, consuming. It's going to be long. Big swing by Ogus, and that makes it 11-8 Stockdale here in game 2.
She had to get over the block of Code and Jennings over there on the right side. And you know what? Stockdale, a big blocking team, over 80 blocks coming into this game so far this season.
Yeah, we have there's a great serve over there by Perrier. We have a ton of data and stats that we've dug up. We'll try to get to it. We'll pull some stuff out and share it with you as the evening goes. Right now it's 12-8. Jennings, ball blocked by Ogus. Haddad, no one's blocking that. And you talk about the vision and knowing where they're not. That was not an easy shot. She made it look easy, and there was nobody that was going to get that. Haddad with a beautiful kill.
Well, they were quick to get the ball off the block and then put it back up for a hit.
Yeah.
So that's impressive by Stockdale to compose themselves. And right there, Haddad with a big block in the middle all alone.
Another timeout taken by Clovis, so it is 14-8 in the second here at Stockdale High School. Hope you're enjoying all of this on CurrentHighNetwork.com. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Tom Myers, Kevin Willie, and Kyle Wiley. I'd like to thank everybody for being involved here, and, of course, our sponsors and the Current High School District personnel. As always, Current Schools Federal Credit Union, a name synonymous with student-athletes at every level throughout the community, most certainly our high school students. United States Army. I've got something I'm going to share with you in the third set about the United States Army. I had a long discussion with the two recruiters that work so closely with the high school district. Great story that I'll tell you about talking with them and the options and opportunities for our young students out there in Kern County. PAF Solar and Communications, they were on board from moment one when the first phone call came and said, we want in. How about Premier Lighting? Tony's Pizza. There will be a Tony's Pizza player of the game tonight. Who will it be? And Raymond's Trophies. Thank you to our Kern High School district sponsors. In a few minutes, Tom will.
And a big shout out to my son Blake Pierce, who's in the U.S. Army in Fort Lee, Virginia tonight. Hopefully he's watching the game and listening to us. I love you, son.
Can't wait to tie that in the third. Looking forward to it. How about this? The timeout worked for Coach Lake. Stockdale serves it out, so now it's 9 serving 14. And will that go? No, it doesn't. So into the net for the Cougars, so 15-10. Stockdale. Jennings will go back. The black hole chanting, we love free points.
Front row with Marion, Haddad, and Code right now. Code with a big swing, sends it long.
Clovis will serve, 11 serving 15.
5'10" middle blocker for Clovis back in. Avery Evans.
Oh, Haddad with a hammer. And
If the viewers at home could see the look on my face right now.
What is it?
It's amazing. That is absolutely
your face is amazing, buddy.
Incredible.
Big hit by Macy
Well,
Haddad.
I have a face for radio, so.
Well, what another big hit. Here's Vilvazo.
Big swing off the one-footed jump.
But Cammie Marion with the block. Mustangs still in it, but a point now from the Cougars. But Cammie Marion, the sophomore, goes eyeball to eyeball with McKenna Ogus at the net.
And that was a big swing by Ogus, as hard as we've seen her
Aren't
hit
they
all
all?
night.
Marion took it in stride, but it's the Cougars with the point. Oh, and an ace.
Oh.
Wow. What an impressive young lady.
You know, Vance, that's the great thing about a game like this is getting to watch two star prep volleyball players in Haddad and Ogus play at this level. Both of them working hard tonight for their teams.
A little bit of a struggle there for Stockdale. Now it's 13 serving 16, and you said it best about Coach Lake having to really tighten this thing up. This is not one you want to let get away here in game 2 on the road, and you're down 0-1.
Clovis crawling back into it right now. Stockdale not really able to set up the ball very well at this time.
And a nice win over there. Avery Evans puts it in the back corner, the middle blocker, sophomore, and now a timeout called by Maria Kolatz. And let's go ahead and thank the people that help us put this together.
Our current superintendents, Superintendent Dr. Brian Schaefer, Dr. Brenda Lewis, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Innovative Programs, Dr. Dean McGee, and, of course, our good friend Stan Green, Director of School Support Services, the guy that really helps make all this possible and gets us on the air and allows us to bring this to you. Thank you, Stan.
16-14, Stockdale leads by 2, but there's a wave of momentum that the Cougars are bringing into this timeout right here. This timeout was taken by Maria Kolatz. Back to my discussion with Maria, she's loath to speak about herself or have anyone do it, but basically I told her tough. You're going to deal with it tonight. We look at this as an opportunity to showcase, of course, 2 great schools, but as the local in this tonight, we're certainly going to spend some time talking about the program, and you can't talk about the program and not the coach when there's only been one coach, so more of that here in a moment. 14-16 serving Clovis. Richardson, the set to Marion.
Good quick action by Jordan Woolman there over on the left side. You know, great dig in the back row by McKenna Ogus, but they couldn't handle the ball after that. But, boy, she is all over the court, playing every position and doing well at it.
How about Cami Marion saying, just keep giving it to me. You give me 2 or 3, one's going to go down. And it did. Cami Marion. Here comes Haddad to serve, 17-14. Sneaks one in there.
Yeah, and Marion only a sophomore middle hitter. She's going to be here for 2 more years. And so, I mean, that's
scary.
Yeah.
Here's the Stockdale Stars serving. Haddad. Well done.
Good quick back set. You know, that's a hard one to do. And over there on that side, Avery Lyons putting it away.
15 serving 18 here, Tom. Getting into the thick of it here in game 2. Just a perfect set by Sydney Richardson. Couldn't have been put up there any more perfect for a big, big hammer by Cami Marion. And now it's 19-15.
You know, it's easy timing when you want to set a 4, and it's on a 15, 20-foot arc. But when you have to set a 1, it's all timing, and that's really a difficult shot. They make it look easy, but it's a real difficult shot to hit.
Winner by Jordan Woolman for the Cougars. And Clovis.
Clovis getting a little bit of a stride here. Kind of finding their way back into this game, and it's a game of momentum. We've discussed that previously. You know, timeout needed to be called by Coach Colatz to kind of stop the bleeding when they were down 16-14.
Great
Clovis.
eye by Jade Johnson. Saw it out, called it out, and it is out. And that puts Stockdale at 20-16.
And here comes Natalie Cote back into the front row.
Big block by Jennings. Another big block, this time by Goswami.
You know, the lineup right now of Goswami, Jennings, and Cote, you know, if you're not going to have Haddad in the front row, that's the lineup that you want.
Richardson drops the serve in.
Nice back set.
Sure was, and Jordan Woolman takes the set. Puts it down, and now it's going to be Thiessen coming in, 17-21. Cougars serving to Stockdale.
Thiessen, a 5'9" outside hitter coming in. She'll play back row here.
Cote just a little wide, so it'll be 18 serving 21. Clovis trails 3.
Thiessen needs to maintain her composure here, and
just sails long. So
and those are the mistakes that they're making right now that are keeping them from really tying this thing up and getting back into the game. Sailing the ball long and unforced. They've had 2 unforced errors in the last 2 servers.
Instead of 21-19, it's 22-18 for Clovis to have to fight through. They're down 4. Oh, what a great piece of work by Perrier.
Great dig by Perrier, the freshman. Nice one set over there. Diaz doing a great job in the back row there. Jade Johnson.
Great hit by Jade from the back line. Very well done. And look at this. It's 23-18 in the second. Stockdale owns the first.
And this game very easily could have been 22-20 right now instead of 23-18.
And here's the freshman with a great serve. Great reaction by Haddad. Great set by Richardson. Haddad cleans it up, finishes it off.
You know, on a power hit, usually you're going forward and up at the same time. She just stopped in place, jumped straight up, and put the ball away.
And here's set 2 point. Look at this, tough to handle. Jade Johnson and the Mustangs are up 2-0 right now on KernHighNetwork.com. Hope you're enjoying this. When we come back, we'll bring you the third set. Stockdale up 2-0, back right after this.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Plord, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get into Game 3 here at Stockdale High School. The Mustangs up 2-0 right now over the Clovis Cougars, and this is, I've learned not to be surprised in the year of 2017 when it comes to this, Tom. I won't say there's parity. It's just there's the level of play is so intense in what we think is going to be just, maybe a 5-setter. All of a sudden now, Clovis is staring at an 0-2 deficit, and the Mustangs are kind of just getting warmed up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're going to have to tighten it up a little bit on some of the unforced errors on serves, and they're going to have to do a little bit better job of blocking Haddad, and maybe the coach needs to figure out how to rearrange his rotation to where they can kind of meet up with her a little bit more one-on-one with some of the players that can handle her a little bit differently. They make adjustments throughout each set, so we'll find out whether or not they're going to be able to do it here in the third. And Stockdale right out the gate with the dink, and that one looks like it's a little hard to handle. They're going to call it. That's a point to Stockdale. Clovis having trouble handling that one. 1-0 in the third set right now. Coming back into the game for Stockdale, the freshman, number 13, Tony Perrier.
Well, now you know why. We can see now why Maria's just so high on her. All of her players, of course, but that freshman that's coming in to serve now is making a name for herself, no question.
Well, she gets excited when she's got these younger players because she knows she's got a foundation to build on in the coming years. Losing Haddad next year is going to be a tough pill for Stockdale to handle. But
and Richardson.
That's correct, yeah. They're going to have great play over there by Code. And a big block by Jennings over on the right side. Stockdale off to a 2-0 lead.
Oh, what a great job getting that way. Hugh keeps it going for the Cougars. But here comes the Mustangs.
Not getting the set that they want over there on the Clovis side, Vance. Joust at the net, and Jennings puts it away. Stockdale up 3-0 off to a quick start here.
Little discombobulation by these Cougars. Head coach Richard Lake wants a quick little tete-a-tete before this next.
Yeah, and he's going to bring Jordan Woolman back into the game right now.
3-0 is the score.
Little conference going on over on the far side with the officials right now. Not quite sure what they're discussing.
Well, it's 3-0. And Maria Kolatz wants to know what this change in the call was.
They're calling the Stockdale Mustangs in the net, and the point goes to Clovis.
Naomi Jennings looking over at Coach Collis and the official with her most serious face. I did not touch the net.
Well, she looked like she did, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, I'm not sure if we're expecting anything else from her. Like, yeah, I got it. I touched it. Fantastic young lady.
Had it with the swing. Good block there at the net by Hannah Leak. Cody. Jennings, great job picking up the dink on that one.
Sydney sets it back to Haddad. And it's kind of one of those scenarios that when in doubt. Not that they were in doubt, but.
Well, covering a block like that as a hitter, that's impressive. Usually the back row is the ones that kind of pick that one up. But if you're a hitter and you can pick up a block off the hit like that, that's fantastic. Jennings did a great job on that play, keeping that ball alive.
Jennings serving. And a kill by Hannah Leak. Cougars trail by 1, 2 serving 3.
Great set on the play by Hugh. She put a nice one right there for Leak.
Big work by Sydney Richardson to get that ball. Haddad's kill didn't go over the net.
Yeah, they're calling that one went into the tape and bounced off and didn't touch the defender.
Tied at 3 in game 3. Mustangs lead 2-0. Beautiful shot in that back corner over there by Jordan Woolman.
Yeah, Woolman really got that one to drop. I thought it was going to sail long, and it sank at the last minute, and it didn't really have a lot of rotation on it. It just dropped.
And if you're Coach Lake, you're looking for some other help, and that's one place that they're getting it. Block, but it goes out. Stockdale will get the point. We're tied at 4.
Yeah, freshman middle blocker, number 3, Carly Vanek on that play for Clovis. And, I mean, they're a formidable opponent there. But sometimes you can't really help which direction it's going to go off your block, and that one just a bit outside.
Kenzie Vilvazo to serve for the Mustangs, tied at 4. Oh, what a great rally. Great effort on a couple of shots by Vilvazo to keep it going for the Mustangs.
And Vanek, the freshman, doing a fantastic job at the net. First she was involved in a hit, then a block, then another dink, and then a hit, put it away.
Kylie Lyons will come in and serve, the sophomore setter. Clovis, 5-4.
And the ball bouncing all over the place. Nobody able to control it. And the Stockdale Mustangs sent it out of bounds on the other side of the net.
A lot of pinball action right there.
Yeah.
That ball was just all over the place, as you said. No control, really, by either side. But now it's 6 serving 4. Clovis up 2.
Woolman with the kill.
A beautiful set, too, Tom.
You know, so far in this set, Jordan Woolman is the story in this set for the Clovis Cougars. She's really done a great job of putting the ball away. She's got 3 kills so far in the set.
Coach Kolatz now going to Monisha Lewis, the sophomore defensive specialist.
We haven't seen Lewis in the game yet. This is her first appearance tonight.
Monisha, really talented young lady. I've known her and watched her play since she was in 5th grade. Didn't play her freshman year, and now she comes up with a
And they go right at her, right out the gate.
And she gets a great get, and there's a big kill there for the Mustangs.
Lewis already making an impact. First thing, that's a tough thing to come cold off the bench after you've been sitting for 2 sets and put a pass on the dot as well as she did.
Great skill set, a lot of natural talent, has all the tools. So, again, Coach Kolatz now with a sophomore that didn't play last year, giving her an opportunity here on the varsity level. And trouble over there for Clovis.
Hard to handle. Macy Haddad serve on that one, and Clovis trying to find a spot here. You know, they're keeping it close right now, but these mistakes are the ones that'll be their Achilles heel.
6 serving 7. Stockdale trails by 1. Big block up front by Goswami.
You know, and a great back set across the net.
That was.
At about a 3-foot arc by Hugh, and then unfortunately doesn't get rewarded with it because it was a great block over there by Goswami.
Tough serve to handle, but they do.
Timing a little bit off on that one. Cammie Marion a little bit early on that.
Clovis leads by 1, 8-7, but they're down 0-2 in sets. Mustangs looking for a sweep.
Beeson's going to serve here, Vance. Senior outside hitter.
Oh, Lewis with a great get. The ball went off the projector light or something similar to that, and it just came shooting straight back down.
Now, in volleyball play, if it hits something on your side and you play it, that's a legal play. If it hits and goes over the other side of the net, that's not a legal play. So if it hits on your side while you're passing or trying to control the ball, you can still play that ball until it's fruition, either on the third hit or the second hit.
That's the voice of Ton Myers, which I'm proud to say is the voice of Frontier Sports. What's going on tomorrow night, Friday night?
Nothing's going on tomorrow night, Friday night. We played tonight and last night. The football team is playing up in Visalia this evening, and they moved the games to Wednesday and Thursday nights for football. So I have a rare Friday night off.
Enjoy what you may do, Tom, if you're really hankering for some football. There are 2 games going on tomorrow night. The KernHighNetwork.com. I'm very pleased and proud to offer you. I'm not traveling far. I'm staying on this campus tomorrow night. Stockdale Mustangs will host the West High School Vikings. That's game 1. I'll have I'll have Coach Cornford with me. And then game 2, Kyle Wiley is calling the game with Rick Van Horn, and it's going to be Highland and Golden Valley. Wow. 2 superior football games. Going to be a lot of fun right here. Mustangs hosting the Vikings. And are you at Golden Valley, Kyle, or at Highland? Highland hosting Golden Valley, and they just had a big win on the East Side Tradition. And
you called that game last week.
What a game. What a game. The JV game, Tom, was sold out. You couldn't get a seat during the JV game, and it finished with like a 50-yard attempt off the left upright, and it finished in a tie. That set the stage for a great East Side battle. But tomorrow night, we've got some serious football taking place on KernHighNetwork.com. So, Tom, whatever you're doing, just pull up your phone and text me, and I'll say hello to you.
Yeah, folks, you can check it out on your laptop, your telephone, your mobile tablet device, whatever you've got. It's all available through KernHighNetwork.com.
So while we've been selling our football games tomorrow night, there's been a lot of conversation. There hasn't been any action. Don't worry, you haven't missed it yet. A lot of conversations between the officials, the scoring table, the coaching staff, and after all of that, it's 8-8 here in the third. Stockdale has them up 2-0. Macy Haddad serving.
Yeah, it appears the official scorer had the score different than what was up on the scoreboard.
We wondered,
which I had
earlier,
said that earlier on when it was 2-0,
yep.
but I thought it was 3-0. So it turns out that they have rectified the score now, and it's tied at 8.
Wow.
Now Stockdale trying to figure out their rotation. They don't want to get called out of rotation. They'll lose a point there. So that little break might have confused a few people. So even Coach Richard Lake for the Cougars is down checking to make sure that his rotation is correct.
Well, it might give me, right when I want to. I want to talk about the U.S. Army for a second, but don't know if we're going to have the time. Now they're going to go ahead and blow the whistle, or are they?
I think we're good.
See a lot of finger pointing, and now we get the whistle.
Now we're back to play. Jay Johnson back serving for Stockdale. 8-8 here in the third set.
Boom.
Beautiful back set by Hugh. to number 9, Jordan Woolman. And Woolman just puts it right down the line for the score. Clovis now up 9-8. Back to serve, number 10, Kelly Thiessen. Thiessen, the 5'9" senior. Nice floater over the net. Stockdale really handled that one well off the hit. And it's a dink for number 12, McKenna Ogus. Ogus couldn't get to it with her right hand, so she dinked it with her left.
And Maria Kolats will call a quick timeout. They're trailing 8-10. Monisha Lewis, the sophomore that's come in, has played very, very well for the Mustangs, but we have a stop in action. And give me a chance once again to slow down and thank Current Schools Federal Credit Union, the United States Army, Path Solar and Communications, Premier Lighting. We will have a Tony's Pizza Player of the Game tonight. And also thank you to Raymond's Trophies. Tom, you mentioned your son in the Army. Doing so many of these years in high school sports and with college and with professional sports, United States Army, so adept in making sure they're linked into their market and their demographic. And I had a chance to speak to our 2 U.S. Army recruiters here in the area. I'll give you your names. I'll give them your names a little bit later as we close out so you can go visit them. They were telling me about all the options for our youth and so many things out there. And for those of you that are out there, juniors or seniors, and might not know exactly what you want to do or where you want to go, what the plan is, you want to go to school, but maybe not right now, they really laid it out in depth to me of what a great opportunity for our current high school district students and what they have out there if they so choose.
Yeah, Blake chose, went to school for a year, played college football for a year, and then decided that he wanted to serve a bigger purpose and maybe get some help paying for college. So that's why he decided to go in, and we're really proud of him. And what a great job he's done.
After the timeout, the Mustangs get a point. So now it's 9 serving 10. Stockdale trails by 1. Sydney Richardson in serving as Monisha Lewis comes out to some high fives. Did a great job out there, Monisha.
Cody Jennings and Goswami back in the front row for Stockdale.
Whistles blowing. Rotation.
And they're called out of rotation for Clovis. Either somebody in the back row was supposed to be in the front row or vice versa.
And Coach Richard Lake didn't argue. And matter of fact, he was saying he was right. Yep, the ref was right. Now we're tied at 10.
And there's the big hitter once again.
But Jade Johnson answers the bell.
Jennings with a big swing, and I don't know, was that tipped? Nope.
No.
Looks like it's just out of bounds. She didn't get on top of the ball, and it just kind of sailed on her.
So Ogus delivers the hammer, but Jade Johnson just tapped it right over to Sydney Richardson. Like, here you go.
Yeah, Jasmine Hugh now back to serve.
Yeah, tough situation there for Sydney.
Communication a little bit off over there on the right side with Jennings. They're in their strong set now with Clovis. They've got 3 hitters in the front row now, and the setter Hugh running along the back side. So she'll be set to 3 different hitters now that she's gone into the back row.
It's now going to be 13-10. Clovis battling back in this third one. They're down 0-2 with regards to set play. And a big block by Jennings. Goswami's right there to her left, but make no mistake about it, Naomi Jennings is absolutely moved in that whole area and is living there right now when it comes to these Clovis Cougars. Can't get it over her.
She's really tough to get around right now. It seems to be really finding out where the ball's going to go. There's Jennings with a big swing, and there's a call. They called the setter over the net on that? I'm not quite sure what the call was on that.
Nor am I, colleague. 14-11, I do know that. Cougars are up 3 here in the third.
Cougars having some success here in the third and are capitalizing right now. Stockdale really needs to work back towards getting good passes and getting their hitters back in order.
Oh, what a great play by
Cody
Hugh.
looking for the rear part of the court there.
Well, that all started right there by Jasmine Hugh, their captain. She kept it alive with a great one-handed dig, put it back in play, and then who else but McKenna Ogus, who found the 4 square feet that were not covered by the Mustangs in the back corner and got it. Now it's 14-11. Clovis up. Haddad does the exact same thing. What technique by Macy.
You know, that all started off, Vance, by Tony Perrier with a great pass there in the back row. That ball was diving hard, and she got her hands down into the court and popped that ball up, which basically set the whole play in motion. So fantastic job over there. And it looks like Coach is calling a timeout. Coach Lake for Clovis is going to call a timeout here.
We're at Stockdale High School. This is the KernHighNetwork.com's live stream exclusive coverage of high school sports here in Kern County, the Kern High School District. This is girls volleyball tonight. We are at Stockdale High School in Bakersfield. The black and silver banners everywhere. What a very, very successful high school this is, not just in athletics, but in academics and music and fine arts and everything they do. Just a top-notch quality high school here in Bakersfield, as well as Clovis, one of the bastions of the Central Valley, and everything that they put forth for their student athletes. So 2 great schools, 2 storied schools here tonight. But right now, Clovis leads 14-12 in the third, but they're down 0-2 in sets to the Stockdale Mustangs. So things are getting interesting here, Tom Myers.
Yeah, Maria's called that timeout to kind of keep things from kind of getting away.
A momentum stopping timeout, if you will.
Lake called the timeout to keep things from getting away. He doesn't want him catching back up and getting back in this game.
And look at this, Jennings.
There's the momentum swing starting right now.
With a tough serve, junior to junior, Naomi Jennings to Hannah Leak. And that got past Leak. 13, serving 14. Stockdale trails by 1.
Jennings, a front row hitter. They use her for the serve because of her power, but they'll pull her out and put a DS in as soon as this rally is over with her service.
Hugh somehow keeps this alive, but only to see Haddad's kill go right at the ankles of Ogus. Stockdale.
And a great 3-foot set there. A fantastic 3-foot set for her to put it away. Great timing on that by Richardson and Haddad.
Stockdale. Ooh. Jennings hits into the net.
And Jennings is going to come out, and the DS is going to come back in now, Jade Johnson. So Jennings will sit for a couple of rotations before she comes back into the front row. Now serving for Clovis, Hannah Leak.
16 serving to 14 and puts it
and
in.
That one's dropped right on the line, Vance.
Oh, what a beautiful serve. To the very back. 50% of it was out, the other half right in.
Might have been 90% out and 10% in on that one.
17-14.
And they're going to call 4. They say it didn't get over the net, so there was no block on that play by Clovis. Point to Clovis, and now they're up by 4 here in the third set.
Look at this, 18-14. The Cougars climbing back in this thing.
And here comes sophomore Brooklyn Jackson for the first time tonight.
And they go long with the serve. So Leak hits it long.
And sometimes that little interruption will throw off your hitter. Your server will have just a little bit of interruption in the time between the last serve and this one and having to wait.
Chess match going on between Coach Lake and Coach Kolatz. Brooklyn Jackson in for one serve. She's back out. Now it's Kinsey Villalvalzo serving.
Yeah, that rotate in and rotate out served its purpose, didn't it?
Big hit down there by Woolman. Jade almost got it, but did not. And now it's 19, serving 15. Clovis up 4. Looking to get back in this thing.
Sophomore Lyons in now to serve Kylie.
Villalvalzo, great effort to keep it in. Long swing by Woolman. They look for the tip. They do not get it. So,
I've noticed a lot in this third set, Vance. we haven't seen a lot or heard a lot out of McKenna Ogus. Should be rotating into the front row on this next rotation, but we really haven't heard a whole lot out of her in this third set, and they're up 19-16, so they may be going to other players.
The ball sneaks over when things are going your way, Tom.
Yeah, just put it in the tape and let it roll right over.
She deserves it. How's that?
Yeah.
She deserves it. She's a senior. Oh, and she's really, really good.
Well, the reason that ball made it over as well is because she has really good snap. And when it hits the tape and it's rolling forward, it tends to get its way over. If it's rolling the other direction, there's no way it gets over the tape on that one.
A lot of action on that ball.
Nice one set there, but it sails just wide out of bounds to the left.
So a little push here by Stockdale. All of a sudden, 18 serving 19. The Mustangs trail by 1 here in the third. Haddad to serve.
Coach Richard Lake down there screaming at his players, calling plays, trying to get them to get their play in so that they can get a point and get the ball back in control here. Big swing out of the back row by Ogus, and that's going to do it, and point goes to the Cougars.
Johnson got to it. Couldn't be handled. And now Coach Lake making a substitution. Kaylee Huffman coming in. 20, serving 18. 2-point lead for the Cougars.
Now the Cougars are running a 5-1 offense, so they only have their hitter. They only have 2 hitters in the front row, but if you're going to have 2 hitters in the front row, it's going to be Woolman and Ogus. Their strong setup right here, and both of them swinging.
Macy Haddad.
Someone's in the net, and it's going to get called against Clovis.
Oh, wow, what a superstar couple of seconds there for Macy Haddad. Took all that Ogus could give, keeps it in play. They get the point. A comprehensive look at the senior, Macy Haddad. Johnson with a tough serve. Hey, look at this. Stockdale's tied up at 20.
And that's a great serve.
Johnson at 20-20. Look out.
Again, the DS having trouble there in the back row, but somehow they power the ball over the net at the joust there, and it sails deep into territory for Stockdale.
Thiessen's going to come back in for the Cougars.
Thiessen's had some success serving this evening.
They only have 5 players. Huh. Interesting. They only have 5 players.
And they're called out of rotation because they didn't have all 5 players on the court.
Oh, my goodness.
And Coach Richard Lake should not have allowed that play to take place.
And that was a 21-20 lead they had with only 5 players on the court in the third game, and they trail 0-2. So a bit of a mental lapse there by
I really hope
Cougars.
that doesn't come back to bite them in the rear end.
21 apiece. Here comes Sydney Richardson with the serve.
And she's going to get called in the net on that.
Ogus in the net. So if you can imagine right now, the Cougars had a 21-20 lead, and of all things, the whistle blows because they only had 5 out there. So now all of a sudden, a mental momentum shift. 22-21 Stockdale.
Good dink by Hugh on there. She couldn't do much else with the ball. And we're not seeing the same swinger out of Ogus that we saw in the first 2 sets, Vance.
We are not. This one maybe. And they do. McKenna Ogus.
A great swing, but not even close to the power that we were seeing earlier. And maybe, the third set, usually you see a little fatigue start to set in on the players. Their legs are not as strong as they were in the earlier sets.
Evans in.
And now we finally get to go back to 3 hitters in the front row for Clovis. Hughes in the back row.
Macedo in.
And that one mishandled. Apparently I was wrong because that one looked like it had plenty of power on it.
McKenna said, hey, you, announcer man, watch this. 23-22 Clovis, now back up 1. We are in the third set. Stockdale up 2-0 in the set part of this thing. But wow.
And boy, wouldn't we really love to watch this get pushed into 4 sets.
I told you, I'd call this all night. As a homer, I'd sure like our current high school district team to win. And I know the Clovis people are saying, "Oh, really?" We get it, Vance.
Yeah,
and by the way,
but we appreciate good volleyball, don't we?
And by the way, again, we want to say hi to Stephanie Hanks, the principal at Clovis High School, her deputy principal, Carrie Carter, her athletics director, Jesse Hardwick, and her activities director, Stacy Graves. Hope you're enjoying this on KernHighNetwork.com. The director-producer is Kyle Wiley, makes it happen for us. Our cameraman, Kevin Willie, been with us since day one. I'm Vance Palm. Tom Myers, the voice of Frontier Sports and Athletics, is to my right. He's got a night off tomorrow night. I don't. I'll be right on this campus. Stockdale football hosting the West Vikings. Kyle will be over at Highland as the Scots 2 weeks in a row. Scots getting 2 weeks in a row on KernHighNetwork.com. Here we go. Big block up front by Ogus, and that puts this at set point. 24.
Leak also got in on that too over there. And Goswami, had a great set and a good swat at it. But those two blockers over on that left side are a formidable opponent.
Set point.
Jennings with the smart dink on that play. Hard to handle.
And in comes the freshman. Ice in her veins. Tony Perrier.
She doesn't look too nervous, does she?
Not at all.
Boy, for a freshman, that's what you want to see, a kid that's ready to go.
Set point again.
Great serve.
Ooh! Oh! And Ogus and the Clovis Cougars take game 3. That was an absolute BB off the wood.
And that's one of the best shots she's had all night.
And they needed it, and they got it right then. We will be back with Game 4. You are watching Kern High School District's live streaming sports of student athletes. This is girls volleyball. We're going to go into Game 4. Stockdale leads 2-1. Back right after this.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are.
Welcome back, everybody. Vance Palm alongside Tom Myers. We're going into Game 4. Well, we said it. We wouldn't mind calling it if it goes to 5 because of the beauty of the thing. Just great volleyball tonight here at Stockdale High School. We're going into the 4th set. Stockdale leads 2-1, but Clovis, not only did they battle their way back, they hammered their way back behind the big swinging of McKenna Ogus, the captain play of Jasmine Yu, and just an assorted array of talented Clovis Cougars that showed all of our viewers what it's all about when you're down and you just cannot quit. And they did not. Now all of a sudden they're back in this deal, Tom.
Yeah, Jordan Woolman seemed to take most of the control of that 3rd set and stomached kind of the burden of the game for the Clovis team. And I'll tell you what, right now, Stockdale took the 1st set 25-18 and the 2nd set 25-20. And then we thought that it was going to be a nail-biter towards the end there, and it was 25-23 Clovis. So, we're heading to the 4th set here. We didn't see a lot out of McKenna Ogus in that 3rd set, but we sure saw it to finish it. And, boy, was that viewers got to hear me say, oh, because I was shocked.
Well, you were bringing up a salient point that we hadn't seen that pop on it
nope.
in set 3, and then she popped 2 right in a row. And they were at the crucial times, and there's no getting around the fact she's the leader of this team.
And that's not her strong side. She's a left side hitter. She hit that on the right side, and one coming across your body, it's far harder to hit like that than it is coming away from it. So impressive.
Well, here she comes to start off the fourth set. Big swing. It's blocked, and
Haddad and Jennings over there with a big block.
The black hole student section, cheering section, rowdy section, cheerleaders. They are into game 4.
Oga slowing it down again on that swing. Code with a big swing sends it wide right.
1-1 here in the fourth. Perrier will serve. The aforementioned, well-chronicled, well-documented fact that she's a freshman. One of 2 on the team. Casey Valdez, the other. And, of course, the announcer's jinx. Goes wide on the serve, and now it's 2-1 Clovis. Sorry, 2-1 Stockdale. Three to 1 Mustangs, mishandled at the net.
Kyle Wiley in our ear, keeping us honest on our stats. Thank you, Kyle.
Is that who that was?
That was Kyle Wiley. K-Dub 2.
Jennings with a nice serve.
Big
block by Haddad.
Right now, everybody's swinging off the net. The setters and the passers have not been able to get together and put the ball close, but that's the one right there with Haddad.
This is a swing fest and a long shot by Callie Thiessen. It goes deep.
She was looking to catch Stockdale creeping up and sent it just a little bit too long.
That poor ball. That rally was a hammer fest.
They're going to have to check the stitches on that thing by the end of the night.
Here comes Jennings. 4-1 Stockdale here in the fourth.
Good pass.
Big
block.
Block by Macy Haddad. So the 2 superstars going at it. McKenna Ogus unloads.
Clovis did a great job of setting that ball up for a quick 1 to Ogus, but Stockdale did a better job with Haddad of being in the right spot for the block.
Slick serve right there by Jennings, and it's a quick start here in the fourth set. 6-1 Stockdale right now.
Yeah, and Richard Lake is not going to want to let this one get away from him. He's going to have to call a timeout here pretty quick before they get down by too far.
Jennings, the jump serve. Oh, and it just goes outside, and you can see her grimacing.
She put it in a great spot, but just about a foot off.
Yep.
Back in the game for Stockdale, senior DSJ Johnson's in the game now.
Woolman back in for the Cougars. And that's out. Marion with the big swing, but here come the Cougars. They've got their superstar McKenna Ogus back there serving.
Good dig by the DS there on the short ball. Code sends that one just a little bit wide. And quickly, Clovis back in the game at 6-4 from 6-1.
Code looks over to coach, and her and Maria have a quick chat. She's had a few go wide. Look at this rally. And they're going to say
think that one hit off.
It did not.
Yeah, that one was off the net. That's a 4.
7-4 Stockdale. Want to let everybody know we're having a few technical issues here tonight, so everything that's going to happen on our social networking platform, you will get it heavy, big, and bombarded tomorrow by Kyle Wiley. But having a few tech issues, you will get a load of our social platform tomorrow. Big block by Sydney Richardson. And now she comes to set Haddad. And it's a beauty.
And I don't know if it was called on a tip. It looked like Stockdale wants a tip on that play by the defender in the back row, but the officials are saying no. Now, that was called out of bounds, but it should have been, well, I didn't see it completely, but it looked like it touched the defender. And Maria Kolitz is up kind of having a conversation with the official.
I have to be honest with you. On our replay, part of our technical issues, we don't have a replay tonight, but I can tell you this. That ball looked a foot in to me, Tom. Well, you know what they say about the volleyball gods.
They all have a way of rectifying their mistakes.
We saw it last week over at Liberty when Clovis North was there, and that coach thought he had a bad call given to him, and they get the point back, and he lays his hands up and says, I told you. Well, Macy Haddad with an 8-5 lead in the Stockdale Mustangs here in the fourth. And look at Goswami. And what a great, great asset she is for Coach Kolatz and assistant coach Bailey Devitt.
Shivangi with the dump there almost could have been called with a carry on that one. Nice one set by Hugh on that place.
And how about Kenzie Vilvazo, number 10 for Stockdale, at the last second. Got a jab in there and kept that play alive, and it results in a point, 10-5.
And good vision to see that the empty side of the court over there for Clovis nobody was occupying it.
Here comes Haddad, 10-5 lead for Stockdale here in the fourth. They lead 2-1.
Hugh with a nice back set and putting it away by Avery Evans over on the right side.
Well, got a kill. She'll come out. Kylie Lyons will come in and serve. 6 serving 10, Tom. Cougars trail by 4. Big block up there by Jordan Woolman. That was an awfully big swing by Marion.
And Marion got a lot of air on that one. Was able to get on top of the ball and put it down right inside the block.
Jay Johnson will serve, 11-6.
And that's going to get called as a lift. Yep. Yeah, the freshman, Harley Vanek, called with the lift on that play.
And, Tom, the aggressive attack nature of Stockdale right now, doubling up, 12-6 in the fourth. You get the sense Coach Kolat saying right now, ladies.
Yeah, this game going to 25, and that one's going to sail out of bounds without a touch on it, so it's going to be Stockdale point.
Woolman with the big swing, but it's out. Now Coach Lake looking up at the scoreboard. 13-6, Stockdale over Clovis.
If this gets to a fifth set, we'll only go to 15. And that's a fantastic serve by Jay Johnson over there. And Richard Lake wants a timeout now to kind of go over this. This one's kind of starting to get away from him a little bit at 14-6.
We're in the fourth set. Stockdale leads 2-1, and now it's 14-6 in this one. I want to remind everybody that we will hit it hard tomorrow from our social platform. You will hear from us at KHSD Athletics on Facebook, KernHighNetwork.com. We're going to be all over the place. This is live tonight at Stockdale. I'm Vance Palm. We've got Tom Myers with me as always. Kevin Willie handling the camera duties. Kyle Wiley from the Kern High School District. And again, we want to thank our good friends at Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, a name synonymous with supporting all of our students. Not just the student athletes, but all students. The United States Army, the options, the pathways, the full circle return on life in the U.S. Army if that's your choice. PAV Solar and Communications, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza and Raymond's Trophies. Thank you so very much for your support and helping us get all of these great activities out to you, the viewer. For all of our fans and friends in the community, we know you are hip to it already. And Clovis crowd, we hope you're digging it too. Here we go, 14-6, tough serve, and Jennings with the big hammer,
and
hits the net.
She's called in the net.
You can see the net shaking, too, so it's hard to argue when that thing's bobbing up and down.
Yeah, well, sometimes they'll give that to you because the ball's there, too.
Right.
But on that one, he wasn't buying, and he was standing right there looking right at her. So
and
a little bit overzealous on the swing.
You're right, Tom. 0 argument from Naomi, and so now it's 7 serving 14. Cougars down by 7.
And they're looking for the tip. Ogus with the monster kill, but it sailed out of bounds just wide. That's the third one tonight that she's sent down the line that's been about a foot out of bounds. She was looking for the tip on that one, trying to get around that block.
Great serve by Richardson. They had to just get it back over. And now Stockdale has to do the same. And a big kill by McKenna Ogus.
You know, that one was a little off speed, and I think the defender, when they saw it, was expecting to come a little faster. So they were a little bit early on it and then didn't know where to go. So she just missed it just a little bit.
For those of you in the Kern County area, starting to get your first look at McKenna Ogus, the real deal. For those of you from the Clovis area, I'm sure you're saying, yeah, Vance, yeah, Tom, we know.
And that one, just a lucky one over the net, right down on the other side, and Stockdale didn't know what to do with it. Point Clovis, and they're coming back 15-9 now.
Big tip by Naomi Jennings. What's so great about this volleyball that we're doing here on the Kern High Network is, this season as we really jump in to it with 8 games, we're really making sure that everybody understands just the depth of the talent out there. And next season, 2018, Tom, every school going to get their shot, and we're going to really blanket our coverage. And a big block up there, and that is Brooklyn Jackson. Ball bounces out of bounds, but nice
so
to
the
have.
point will go to Clovis on that.
Yep.
And a big swing once again by Ogus over there. Hugh back to serve. Now Clovis with the strong offense now with the 3 hitters in the front row and the setter playing in the back row now. And a smart play by Macy Haddad there. She saw there was no coverage on the dink and just put it right over the block.
17-10. Jennings will serve.
Jennings having a lot of success serving this evening, scoring a lot of points for the Stockdale Mustangs. Nice floater. Hard to handle, and point Stockdale.
Of all places for that serve to bounce into, it goes over
right into the black hole.
One of the young students just kissed the volleyball and said, there you go, 18-10. Jennings. Another tough serve. And that's out, and Ogus hits it wide. 19-10. Stockdale leads here in the 4th. Woolman will come back in for Thiessen for Clovis.
And that point given to Clovis, there's some argument going on right now.
Must have been tipped. And can you believe this?
Again.
Can you believe this? Ogus serves deep.
She didn't get on top of that ball and sailed it.
Villavazzo comes in to serve. 19 serving 11, Tom.
Big swing out of the back row, and
Ogus
starting to lose a little pop on that swing. After the second, third sets, you tend to get a little bit tired, and so definitely doesn't have the same swing that she had in the first two to three sets.
Villavazzo with a great serve, and that ball is going to be wide, and look at this.
Great vision by Villavazzo letting that one go out of bounds.
21-11, and Coach Richard Lake has not even stood up late here in the 4th.
Lake seems to see the writing on the wall on this one.
Oh, wow. A block up front.
Nice swing by Woolman on that. And a good dig over there by Hugh, the setter.
That sure was. Oh, and a big swing up there by Marion.
And she called that ball in, and it looked like it was long.
Absolutely in.
We'll see on the replay tomorrow. Follow Twitter at KHSD Athletics to see if that ball is actually in or out, folks.
Boy, that was sweet. That was silky, Tom.
I'll be here all night.
Hey, look at this. We won't be. It's going to be 23-11 now. And the Mustangs with Kenzie Vilvazo, the junior DS. Where's number 10? There's her mom right there saying, come on, babe.
She's having some success here right now.
23, serving 11. Goes long. Clovis will now serve. They trail by 11 here in the fourth. Stockdale is up.
Back in the game for the Clovis Cougars, number 3, Carly Vanek, the freshman middle blocker. All 5'10" of her.
Haddad swings. It's out. Once again, everybody, we're going to hit it hard tomorrow from our social platform at KHSD Athletics on Twitter, on Facebook. You're going to see and hear a lot of this game starting tomorrow. Having a few technical issues tonight. We will work through it. Haddad pounds it. Hugh gets it. And it's still in play.
Nice dig by the Cougars.
And look at Cammie Marion, the sophomore.
Great vision by Marion there to dink the ball to her left.
Look at this, match point.
Yep.
24-13, and how apropos, Haddad serving. That's it.
And I don't know what to say. You know, we had a really, really great game going in the first set, and it was really kind of tied in. They were coming back in the third. We thought we were going to get to a fourth, and it looks like Clovis just didn't have anything left in the tank for the fourth set there.
A big win for Stockdale, 3-1. We'll take our final commercial break. We want to make sure our sponsors know how much we're thinking of them, how much we appreciate them. When we come back, some final thoughts from Tom and I, and we will remind you of tomorrow night's football action. Can you believe this? 3-1 Stockdale rolls Clovis, and also the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game will be announced right after this on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, get a shot of this. This is really, really cool here at Stockdale. The Black Hole student section, the principal, coaches, training staff, all getting ready to welcome back their Stockdale Mustangs volleyball team. You talk about a tunnel. That's going to be a really cool tunnel for them to walk through tonight after a big win, 3-1 over Clovis. Tom, your thoughts overall in the big picture tonight for this big Stockdale win?
Well, Stockdale, you know, like I said, they've played a pretty good schedule this preseason. and they've had some success in it. And, I think I was expecting one to be a little bit tighter between them and Clovis tonight. Clovis had a lot of great players on their squad. Let's give it up for McKenna Ogus. What an absolute star. Her setter, Jasmine Hugh, did a fantastic job tonight. They really, they've got a couple of players in a pretty good squad, and I think they're going to see some success this season. For Stockdale, they're just loaded everywhere. Macy Haddad is just an absolute, beast on the court. Villavazzo's great in the back row. Sydney Richardson puts the ball in the right spot for all of her hitters. Naomi Jennings is up in the front blocking. She has a great serve out of the back row. We really saw a lot out of Stockdale. I can go on and on for a couple of hours about how great I think Stockdale played tonight.
Well, before we announce our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, we most certainly want to make sure that we thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, U.S. Army, Pabst Solar and Communications, Premier Lighting, Raymond's Trophies. We'll get to Tony's Pizza in a moment. But before we go any further, thank you to our Kern High School District Superintendent, Dr. Brian Schaefer, the Assistant Superintendent of Instruction, Dr. Brenda Lewis, our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Innovative Programs, Dr. Dean McGee, and our main man, Director of School Support Services, Stan Green. Kevin Willie is on camera tonight. He gets 33% of this vote. I get 33%. You, being the expert, get 34%. But before we had even started running our first commercial spot, we all looked at each other and said, it's her. Now, of course, her meaning Macy Haddad, the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. But Kevin Willie made a great point, Tom. Yes, congratulations to Macy, but he said, man, there were so many great athletes on the floor tonight, so it makes it even more poignant that tonight's Tony's Pizza Player of the Game is Macy Haddad. Your tribute to her tonight and what she accomplished.
Anytime there's a hitter on the court that never leaves, that's a well-rounded volleyball player. There aren't very many of them. The hitting position is a specialized position. But when you have a kid that's on the court the entire time, all the way around, she's passing the ball, she can set the ball, she can hit the ball. That's a well-rounded, solid player, and Macy kind of possesses all that. I've been talking about her for years now. As the announcer at Frontier High School, I've called her name hundreds of times, and I'll tell you what, tonight she really showed why she earned the Player of the Game spot.
A superstar night for a superstar player. Macy Haddad, the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. Kyle Wiley will handle that responsibility next week on campus at Stockdale. Speaking of being on campus at Stockdale, tomorrow night I will be right here with none other than Rich Cornford. He and I are going to be calling Stockdale Mustangs hosting West High Vikings, game 1 here on KernHighNetwork.com. The other game is going to be over at Highland High School, and that's going to be Kyle Wiley. He and Rick Van Horn are hosting that big game. Speaking of Kyle Wiley, want to remind everybody that all of our social networking will be up big and strong starting tomorrow. On behalf of Kyle and Kevin, and of course my man Tom, I'm Vance Palm. Hope you enjoyed all of it. Thank you to everybody at Stockdale tonight. Stockdale beats Clovis 3-1 on KernHighNetwork.com. Good night. God bless.